Hi, everyone. We're back. Together, everyone achieves more here on T.E.A.M. And I'm proud to present the candidate in the 3rd District, one of the candidates, Abigail Diaz. She's running for alderman in the 3rd District, and her running mate is Kelly Zimmermann, who is currently serving as a Board of Alderman for the city of Waterbury. And so, Abigail, today's, conversation is personal. Just kind of want the people in the community to know who you are, what you are, how did you get here, why now, why are you taking action, why are you stepping into the arena of the political world locally here. We know you ran for state rep a couple of times. So, Abigail, just go a little bit into your background, family dynamics, where you live, your how many children, things of that nature. Tell the community who Abigail Diaz is. Thank you for coming, Abigail.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. I was born and raised in the North End, Easton Avenue girl. I come from a big family, a Hispanic family, of course. I have 5 brothers, three sisters, and...
So let me stop for the viewers to know. So that's 9, right?
Yes.
9, okay. I just want to
Same mom and dad.
That's great.
Yeah. My father was a 2nd Hispanic police officer in Waterbury. My mother was a nurse. I was raised in the Pentecostal church. And
you have a lot of family members that are currently
yes.
on the police force. You have a brother I know who's an attorney, right?
Yes. I came from a family of servicemen.
Yeah.
They're veterans. Police officers, correctional officers. I wanted to be a police officer, but I ended up being a nurse because my mother said, why does everybody want to be a police officer? So I ended up being a nurse. I've been a nurse now for 14 years. I did hospice for 4 of the years, and then I've been at the Bradley home now. I work with the elderly community. I've been married. I've been divorced. I have 3 sons out of my marriage. My oldest is in college now. This is his junior year. My second son is just getting into middle school. I just put him into private Christian school. And my youngest, he is 4.5, and he was just diagnosed with autism. And so now I have him in like programs on top of programs.
Yeah. Well, so listen, kudos to you. That's quite a journey, as a human being, as a mother, and the fact that, you're still holding the household down with 3 kids and, one with special needs and kid in college. I mean, that's, hats goes off to you and the work that you're doing. I know you coming from a very, very gifted family that have been involved and contributed to community significantly. So that's amazing. That testament comes out in the value that you do. I know that you're involved too a little bit with like a lot of local community groups, some senior centers. I know you were involved with the Beautification Committee, I believe, in Waterbury. That kind of drives you a lot and kind of your network base. Can you talk a little bit about that?
And how I got into the political realm?
Yeah.
Well, nobody really cares about the stuff that I care about, but we'll start there.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
So, since being a nurse, I noticed there was a lot of plastic waste, medicine bottles, vitamins, and all kinds of plastic waste. And I said, well, what do we do about this? And I had wrote a bill proposal and I gave it to my state rep, Napoli. And he says he presented it. It was like 2, maybe 3 years, and nothing was done. So then I said, well, how do I start getting into this? Like, how can I get it done? So I had met with him and actually Reyes because they kind of cared about, recycling and the environment.
Well, I know Reyes does because he passed a bill that everybody was mad about. If you remember, he passed a bill, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but now that you brought it up, I'm going to say, so he passed a bill. If you guys remember, when the plastic straw got thrown out and they started bringing back paper straws, that was Reyes' bill. And the only reason is I laugh about it is because we were having breakfast one time, and I ordered orange juice, and we were at the top of the morning, and the lady brought a straw, and the straw was breaking in the glass, and Reyes was sitting in front of me. I'm like, this is your fault. But anyways, that was a great story. Go ahead.
But yeah, so I met with them. I came with my footage. I did video. I actually bought my own recycling compartment things for the cardboard boxes, medicine bottles, and wherever else. So I was like kind of doing my own
Recycling.
yeah, but I was collecting data. That's what I was doing. And I recorded it for probably like a couple months to see how much plastic waste was actually being wasted. And that was just me collecting. It wasn't like what everybody else was throwing out. So I brought them a video and photos and stuff like that. And they were like, oh, well, we'll see what we can do. And they said, well, hey, why don't you get into litter and beautification? And I'm like, okay. So I feel like I was just getting pushed to go do something else. But you also had to become like a member of a party. And my brother, who was also involved in politics, he told me about the Republican Party, and I went to a couple meetings, and I ended up joining the Republican Party, and then they nominate. I don't know if they nominate you or they.
You got appointed to the town committee.
Yeah,
town committee, right?
I went into the town committee,
Right.
but then they have to put you on the commission.
Okay.
Like you have to be.
So you get appointed by
yeah.
the commission, yeah.
So then I got into the litter commission. I was doing that for a few years. And then after Bonnie, the chairwoman, had passed, then I ended up becoming the vice chair. And that was just with that. But then I ended up running for state rep because, like I said, I presented that proposal to Ron, and he didn't end up getting it passed, or it just kind of died.
And so people know Ron Napoli is the state representative in the 3rd District for the state of Connecticut House of Representatives. So in case viewers don't know who Ron you're referring to.
Yes.
But you ran for...
And I had to run against him.
So you ran against him. So the guy who you went to with an idea, who you felt kind of disregarded you felt and you learned the process. You got involved in politics and you said, hey, I'm going to run and try to get, take this idea and bring it up for myself. But just so you ran, did you run once or twice?
Twice.
You ran twice. Okay. So, and in the 3rd District for state rep.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is a very difficult district.
Yeah.
As a Republican. So, in the midst of running for state rep and being in the litter commission, then we give out like beautification awards to property owners, and like you start looking at the beautification of the city, and then you go to surrounding cities, you see how beautiful they are, landscaping, and they're cleaner and less crime and more business. So I started looking at different aspects, and then looking into air quality and the effects it has on mental health and crime. And it just seems like there's a lot of in beautification field that kind of has a lot more impact than you think. So then I got into planting trees. And
that's why they call you the tree lady.
Yes.
That's a great nickname, by the way. But I just want to point out, though, to your point that, a lot of people that don't research things, and you did your data collection, you did your analysis and your assessment of how beautification, air quality, and all those things correlate to healthy living and how it affects people as far as like asthmatics and things of that nature. Certain behaviors that kind of generates certain behaviors by how you live, what's around you. So everything in your surrounding, what you breathe, and how you live, and beautification is part of it. And I got to be honest with you. Call me a juvenile if you will, but for a long time I disregarded a lot of that. And me being a professional in Parks and Rec, I was definitely always one person that wanted to see every ballpark lined and dragged and all grass cut. But you're part of it until I got to know you a little better, talk to you about some of your ideas, and found out after speaking with you about some of the effects of how this actually plays a role in people's health and sometimes mental health. I was very struck by the significant data and research that backs up a lot of that stuff. So Abigail, great job. You did get into working with some senior centers. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, after COVID and my job, I noticed like a lot of the residents were like getting depressed and they didn't want to leave their rooms and stuff like that. So I decided to start a garden club. And then that was probably like 2-3 years now. And it kind of grew significantly. I'm like, everybody wants to join. And it just like overall, like they were just so happy. And then like the way we did the courtyards, everything is like really beautiful. And just watching things grow and tomatoes and, like they would share them or whatever and give them to their family members. And then I said, you know what? Maybe I should kind of bring this into Waterbury. So I started going to the senior center, the Willow Plaza, and I started doing something with them. But then I started seeing like other things that they lack. But like they're just so super grateful for the little bit that they do have. And I'm like, man, I feel like they need more resources. Not even just money, but people could donate like arts and crafts stuff, or even if they want to donate flowers or donate time, like even kids coming from schools, like maybe they should start getting more involved, bringing the community more together. Kids being around the elderly being around the kids is therapeutic for the both of them. So then I feel like, like aldermen, they do a lot more for the city. So I figured, hey, maybe doing the Board of Aldermen, and how they say like, what is it that starts at home, like charity starts at home.
Oh, charity starts at home.
That's where I was thinking, you know what, then maybe I don't have to run for state rep right now. Maybe I could start in the city. And then also with my son being autistic, the program that they have like right now is the Annex program in Bucks Hill, which is only like a 2-hour time frame for 2 sets of children. So you have like a 9 to 11, and then you have a 12 to 2, and these kids are bused there, bused home. So that's 4 bus trips. Then this last summer there wasn't enough teachers, so they didn't even have a summer program. So not having a summer program for an autistic child, it could set them back a lot. Like they have to constantly have reinforcement and repetitive teaching all day long. So even just the 2 hours is really nothing, but it's something. So then I see that, okay, Waterbury is lacking in the special education department as well. And then, watching alderman meetings, they would like send, they have like a handful of kids that go to out of city programs where they have more resources, and we spend millions to bus them, to have them get an education there.
Yeah, so basically what you're alluding to is the city of Waterbury collects taxes from taxpayers with children who have special needs, and we're paying other towns to provide services for us because we don't have them.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a hard sell for taxpayers. I want you to know.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean to interject, but I have to. What I'm reading from you on a personal and upfront basis is that you're a nurturing parent, you're a nurturing person being a nurse, and your nurturing nature has brought you into the realm of politics because Waterbury needs some nurturing. Mm-hmm. And when you look at the makeup of the Board of Education, the different men and women that serve, regardless of the parties, everybody brings something different to the table. And the fact that you have your niche and your niche is beautification, clean energy, you hands-on experience with special education with your little one, you being a nurse, understanding that those dynamics of people's needs, working with the elderly. So
Working with the vulnerable more.
yeah, you're going to bring something that is very much needed on the Board of Ed. That insightfulness that you bring is going to give a personal touch to the decisions that are made. Not every decision that you'll make as a Board of Ed member,
Alderman.
alderman, I'm sorry, as an alderman is not going to be based on money, right? Some decisions are based on budgetary natures, but others are based on, human nature. And I think, on both ends, right? You're a single mom holding down a household in Bunker Hill. You're balancing your own budget at home, right? Taking care of your children. That ability already qualifies you. And I try to tell people to make some sound economical decisions for the city. But the other part that you're going to bring is something that we lack I believe, is empathy and the ability to really see the needs of the community. I'm going to tell you, I have really, really take a vested interest in following all the candidates, and the fact that you're in Waterville Community Club, this community club, neighborhood plaza over here, beautification. I see you as a single mom, seeing you at so many functions. You put in your sweat equity to the community. So, kudos to you and all the stuff you do. But Abigail, what really drove it home for you that you said you're going to run? Tell me what really fired you up. Like said, I'm going to do this. We need change, and this is why we need it. How would you put that into words?
Seeing what we're putting in as taxpayers and what we're getting out of it, it doesn't add up. That's how I see it. And we have a lot of vulnerable people that are in our hands. And we're in the alderman's hands. Our money is in their hands, and they're just not making the right decisions that are benefiting us. I'm like, we could definitely do better than this.
So if you were to give like your 60-second elevator speech to the viewers, right? How important is September 9th? I mean, you are in a primary, right? It's you and Kelly Zimmermann against Andy Michaud, right? Now, Andy Michaud is a longtime Waterbury guy, was involved in politics. And, all three of you guys are good candidates. All you guys want the same thing. But at the end of the day, what do you tell the people of Waterbury, in particularly Republicans right now, because that's the only people that can vote, right? And November is a whole different caveat in the audience we try to reach to. But right now, what do you tell the people of Waterbury? Why should they vote for you? Why do you feel so strongly that you're going to be their voice?
Well, me joining all of these community clubs, being raised in the North End and living in Town Plot, I raised one of my sons there, and then moving to Bunker Hill. Like, I kind of have a feel for all of the neighborhoods, and I know that we just represent the 3rd District, but I've had my walks upon the whole Waterbury, and we are representing all of Waterbury as a whole. So I feel like I have a lot more skin in the game, maybe not in years, but as an experience and being part of Waterville. I don't do Bunker Hill just because their meeting days are on Thursdays and I work every Thursday. So I do Waterville, Bucks Hill. Also, the neighborhood council is like a board of all the neighborhoods. Like, there's 3 representatives from every neighborhood that come to the table, and they talk about their needs and their complaints or things that they do for the community.
So you're keeping your pulse. It's interesting because you're everywhere. So you're keeping your pulse.
I'm collecting my data.
Yeah. So you're
collecting my data, and I'm seeing everyone has the same needs, the same wants. They want the city to do better. They want it to be safer. They want it to be cleaner. They want to be more resourceful, and they want to see their tax dollars being used wisely. And as an alderman and my team, we all have the same values, and we all have all different things to bring to the table, but collectively we have the same vision for the city. And I feel that we're gonna be able to make some significant change
And deliver for the people.
So
September 9th is a big day.
yes,
Get out and vote.
get out and
Row A right now. And
Row A right.
Row A right now. A1 and A2, right?
yes.
A1, A2, Abigail Diaz, Kelly Zimmermann, District 3 for Alderwomen, City of Waterbury, September 9th. By the way, I think it's important that voters know that there's early voting starts tomorrow, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. At Veterans Hall, 235 Grand Street. The office for the Republican headquarters is 190 Grand Street. You're more than welcome to stop down there for any informational stuff. You can change, I believe, voting affiliation from unaffiliated to Republican up until the day before. So that's important that people know that as well. So cast your votes for Abigail Diaz and Kelly Zimmermann. Row A, so the Republican Party is the real Republicans. Thank you, Abigail, for being on T.E.A.M podcast, and wish you a lot of luck. I know you're going to be boots on the ground, your family boots on the ground. Again, thank you, and I commend you for, coming out the box and running for office that needs change desperately. So thank you for your leadership.
Thank you.